The 25-year-old woman I'm dating says she's going to spend the night platonically at her ex-boyfriend's house. How do I respond? I'm 25 years old. Honestly, it's pretty simple. I'm seeing a woman, we'll call her Eve. We hit it off and have had several dates, a bar, a cafe, and she's been over to my apartment twice, but we haven't gone to third base, and she hasn't slept at my place. I work odd hours. I was asleep late in the evening and she calls me. I wake up, answer my phone when I see Eve's name. She's driving home curious and chatty and asks me a bunch of times to just talk about something, but I can't think of anything. I'm drowsy and still half awake with blackout curtains in the dark. I finally think about asking to do something together this weekend. This is where my mind absolutely derails from happy and drowsy to confused and alert. She says she already has plans on Saturday. She's spending time with her ex-boyfriend, who we will call Bob, who is still a friend in some capacity, but I don't think I have the full explanation. I probe with a couple more questions, and discover she's planning to spend the night at his place, which means she's busy Sunday too. I'm now shocked into silence on the phone, and unable to continue a decent conversation, but I'm saved by a female friend calling Eve, so she hangs up with me to take the other call. I texted her about 12 hours later the next morning, and that was 24 hours ago with no response. The text is basically, help me understand because I can't seem to make sense of this, and it's bothering me. This is a deeply uncomfortable situation for me. I've come to care for her. We are starting to get to know each other, and her coworkers also liked me when I met them. I want to understand, but this also seems like a red flag. Is this visit to Bob's truly platonic? Why stay the night? This doesn't feel right, and I've always trusted my instincts, so it's truly bothering me. Edit. I've seen several comments along the same lines that I'm being used or tested in a twisted game. I'm going to disregard these and some other comments. I cannot understand the heartless among you who are so flippant in your advice. By both action and description, she has repeatedly affirmed that to use/abuse or otherwise play games with me would be completely contrary to her character. Let me be clear, if she is using me or playing games, our next conversation will bring that to light and it will be the end of the relationship. However, it is not clear to me that either her plans or current silence are certain enough indicators to be actionable to the extremes people have advised. I suppose I've gotten what I was looking for. I have checked my emotions and now see what most people think of the outward appearances of these circumstances, and this allows me to offer to anyone who will read this my current decision for my course of action. I will try to talk to her before Saturday, and should I be able to hold a reasonable conversation that clarifies mine and Eve's thoughts and actions, the two of us will decide how to proceed. If she refuses to have a conversation before going to her ex on Saturday and proceeds with her plans, I will not tolerate it. It is a strict boundary in my heart. If she goes, my doors close, both emotionally and physically. In truth, I can already feel my heart anticipating this outcome and readying itself, because I do care about her and it would not be nothing to me to bar her from my life. Lastly, thank you. You helped, and I am grateful. Update, the next day. The initial text is still unanswered, along with my phone call earlier today, Friday, which means Eve is likely going to sleep tonight having seen my text and phone call and ignored me. Tomorrow is the fated Saturday, and I expect to find out that she went through with her plans. I'll update sometime Sunday or Monday if anything important happens. Yes, I'm defensive and in denial. I know her, and you don't, and I won't apologize for denying the majority position. Believe what you want, it doesn't matter to me, because the main problem is one of presumption. Any position that presumes guilt before she's even done anything, while using one statement as absolute truth and proof and another statement being thrown out as lies, makes no sense. Do with that what you will. I'm going to talk to her, and I'll know when I look her in the eyes and ask her directly if she's telling me the truth. Comments. 1. Ghosting you for 24 hours while staying with an ex is a huge red flag. If she's willing to do that while you guys are still getting to know each other, imagine what she'll do down the road. Run. 2. So she told you casually to see what you would say. She's going to do it anyway whether you say it's okay or not. You expressed concern, so she hasn't replied for 24 hours. There's your answer. She expected you to be okay with it. You're not okay with it, so she's ghosting you so she doesn't have to hear you say you're not okay. It's like a little kid covering its ears and shouting, "I can't hear you," when its mother tells it to do something. She's ignoring you because she knows you don't like it, but she's gonna do it anyway. I'd move on from her. She will do whatever she likes in any aspect of your relationship and will never take your views into account. She's selfish. 3. They have only been in a few dates and haven't been intimate according to OP. Sounds like a fairly new thing between them, which makes it weird she would explicitly bring up staying over at her ex's. She could have just said she's busy that weekend or will be staying over at a friend's house. It's an oddly specific detail to tell someone who you're still apparently in the early dating stages with, despite OP's claims that is not in her character. Unless they've been dating and seeing each other regularly for a while, at least 6 months, he doesn't know what her character is. She brought up the detail it for a reason I refuse to believe a 25-year-old that's been in a prior relationship is that naive. 4. Him saying it's not in her character makes me think OP has on rose-colored glasses, which is fair, or that he was falling for the idea of her rather than who she actually is. 5. Yeah, I mean, I get the reaction because no one wants to consider that they are falling for someone who may not be a good person, but feeling the need to defend the honor of someone you've only been on a few dates with to random internet strangers? Less understandable. 6. Yup, I dated a single mom who did this. I thought it was weird, paid it no mind. I'm like, I'd be a little crazy to make issue of it when her kids probably want to see their dad and mom at least get along. I can't believe I was shocked when she got a little too drunk and had a pity party about how it didn't work and how she wishes she was still with him. I was flustered because I knew something was off, and it wasn't the going over for a barbecue on a Saturday. It was the her staying the night part. We split after that, lol. 7. You are choosing to be ignorant, and that's fair enough because it's your life, but none of this is okay or reasonable. 1. Being too busy to respond for 24 hours. No. Unless you really are just casually dating, which then also means it's none of your business if she stays with her ex. I'm a single mom working 5 jobs and studying. I have time for exactly what I make time for, and if a man is important enough to me, I will make time, believe me. 2. You expressed your concern and discomfort in a text that she has seen. Not responding at all is rude and not very considerate of someone she supposedly cares about. 3. Spending the night with an ex. No reason for this. None. Hanging out, okay. But sleeping there? Nope. I had an ex who did what you're doing. He never had enough information or data points, as he called it, to make a decision. It was a polyamorous relationship, and his girlfriend was a whole pile of insane, and did anything and everything to sabotage our relationship. But no matter how many texts, how many meltdowns, or how many manipulative situations he was put into, there was just never enough information to see what was crystal clear to me. You have the information, dude. Just open your eyes. 8. Agreed. I don't get the confusion here. She's spending the night at her ex-BFF's house and stopped texting you back. What else is left to be said? 9. This. Also O.P. If she tries to come back, ignore her. 'Cause honestly, if you or anyone else is in the dating game, which clearly you are, an ex should remain in the past. It doesn't matter if y'all are still friends, have a good relationship as an ex or whatever. Exes should never be in your life afterward. They should be gone, history. Because they only form problems with your current, potential, partner. E.gu. Plus, how can you form a solid relationship when you have some random third party come in? 3 is a crowd. Furthermore, sounds like she's still hung up on her ex, but that she's seeking validation that people still want her and want to be with her when her ex doesn't, that is, unless he still has feelings. There are some women out there that'll date to ease the pain of a breakup. And most likely have rebounds even if they never mean to hurt another, but it still happens. To elaborate, rejection is a very hard pill to swallow. And as a woman myself, I've asked guys to be friends after I gently rejected them, and then I'd naively wonder, why did they not want to be friends? I later found out that's just cruel and a slap in the face. 'Cause you can never be friends with someone you're attracted to. It's just unrequited. That is, unless you're in a serious relationship. I call my husband my bestest friend, and it's true, but he's much more than a friend, if you get what I'm saying. Also, if she were to ask you to stay friends with her, don't. The only time she'd be interested is if she's not getting attention. If you're looking for someone, go for the person that hasn't been on a date in a long time, someone that clearly isn't hung up on anyone. 10. My ex did this. When I called him out on it, he told me that I alarmed him with my inability to trust him and made him feel emotionally unsafe. Man was gaslighting me 100%. Steer clear of this behavior. Trust me, you'll be better off.